based on the enthralling novel by Blake Crouch, who also serves as the mastermind behind the Apple Plus TV series. Episode 1 of Dark Matter introduces us to Jason Desson, a physics professor contentedly married to his wife, Daniela Desson. Daniela, a talented painter, runs a charming gallery, and together they have a son named Charlie. Their close friend Ryan brings exhilarating news to Jason one fine day, announcing that he has clinched the prestigious Pavia Award. Jason feels a twinge of mild happiness, perhaps because he believes he should have been the one to win the award instead of Ryan. However, being the epitome of modesty, he keeps these thoughts to himself. Jason continues with his day, eventually returning home to share a serene dinner with his family. On an unusual detour, Jason visits a decrepit storage unit and meticulously records his day's activities. However, he keeps this a secret, choosing instead to discuss Ryan's big win with Daniela and how Ryan has invited him to a party he is reluctant to attend. Daniela persuades Jason to give Ryan the attention he craves. Sadly, as soon as Jason steps out of his house, things start to spiral out of control. Around the 15-minute mark of the first episode, Jason heads over to the village tap near his house. The familiarity between the bartender, Matt, and Jason indicates that Jason is a frequent patron, and his pleasant demeanor has earned him respect from someone who deals with numerous inebriated patrons daily. Ryan requests Matt to uncork a bottle of the finest scotch to celebrate Jason's contribution to his success. Ryan then introduces Jason to his colleagues and fans, leading to an awkward situation as they find it hard to believe that the genius Ryan has an ordinary friend like Jason. Nevertheless, Jason handles the situation gracefully. As the evening winds down, Ryan proposes that Jason join him in launching a neurotech company. All of this could financially benefit Jason and his family. There's a significant difference between wanting and needing money. While it's evident that Jason and Daniela don't earn much, they are content and happy with the life they've built together. Jason doesn't want to uproot this life to move to San Francisco. Hence, he intends to decline Ryan's proposal on the spot. Ryan urges Jason to discuss it with Daniela before making a decision. Jason agrees and heads home. While walking under the subway train lines, Jason is abducted by a masked assailant who appears to know everything about Daniela and Charlie. With a gun pointed at his head, Jason is compelled to comply with the assailant's orders, driving to a decrepit warehouse. Upon reaching the warehouse, the masked assailant strips Jason of his wedding ring and clothes. Jason attempts to outsmart the assailant, but only manages to slightly injure him. The assailant injects something into Jason, ordering him to don a different set of clothes as he begins to lose consciousness. The assailant monitors an odd device and starts talking about multiple possibilities, claiming he is doing this for both Jason and himself. Jason tries to unmask the assailant, but the latter insists that Jason wouldn't believe the truth if he simply stated it. Although Jason can't decipher the assailant's words, viewers familiar with alternate universe plots will quickly realize that the masked assailant is another version of Jason. A few minutes later, Jason wakes up in an operating chamber of sorts where his clothes are removed, and he is thoroughly bathed and checked for radiation. Upon passing all the tests, he meets Amanda, who seems to know him, although Jason has no idea who she is. Then he is taken to Leighton, whom Jason quickly recognizes. Leighton displays Jason in a room full of scientists, asking him to describe his experience. When Amanda reveals that Jason has been gone for around 14 months, it becomes clear that these people believe they are talking to their version of Jason. Overwhelmed by this information dump, Jason freaks out and makes a run for it. For clarity, let's refer to the two Jasons as Jason 1 and Jason 2. Jason 1 is the physics professor, and Jason 2 is the masked assailant. At the end of episode 1, Jason 1 reaches what he believes is his home and finds Amanda there. He notices that the place looks nothing like his home. He sees the Pavia Award that Jason 2 has received, along with numerous other accolades, but still can't make sense of the situation. When security officials enter the house, Jason 1 makes a run for it. Meanwhile, Jason 2, wearing Jason 1's wedding ring, gets cozy with Daniela. It's abundantly clear that Jason 2 wants the life that Jason 1 built. Although Jason 1 aspires to be as successful as Jason 2, he doesn't want to achieve it at the expense of his family life. If Jason 1 were as materialistic as Jason 2 thinks, he wouldn't have fought back. But his love for Daniela and Charlie is evident, and that's why he will fight to return to his universe and possibly punish Jason 2 for making a rash decision on his behalf. Despite the plot's familiarity, the show remains compelling due to the stellar performances of Joel Edgerton and Jennifer Connelly. Their effective and charming portrayal makes the series watchable, even if the plot is derivative. Episode 2 begins with Jason 1 reaching the village tap. In Jason 1's reality, the bar sign was red, but in this alternate reality, it's green. While Matt 1 was familiar with Jason 1, Matt 2 isn't familiar with Jason 2. Consequently, Jason 1 is thrown out of the bar for insisting that he and Matt 2 are old friends. As Jason 2 learns the intricacies of Jason 1's life, Jason 1 admits himself to a hospital to check his brain for irregularities and requests a statewide search for Daniela and Charlie. Although Jason 1's brain is fine, his wife and son are nowhere to be found. When Jason 1 searches for Daniela using her maiden surname, he discovers Daniela 2. He notices that she is organizing a gala event and decides to attend. Upon entering Daniela 2's gallery, Jason 1 realizes that Jason 2, is the subject of the art installation. Relieved to see a familiar face who doesn't push him away, he meets Ryan 2, who is less successful than Ryan 1. Ryan 2, having worked with Jason 2 at Velocity, the facility where Jason 1 was taken in Episode 1, to develop the reality-traveling device, feels slighted for not being credited appropriately. Jason 1, unfamiliar with Ryan 2's grievances, irks him further by feigning ignorance. Jason 2, meanwhile, starts showing signs that he isn't as emotionally attuned as Jason 1. While Jason 1 encouraged Charlie to express his feelings to his crush, Brooke, Jason 2 advises him to be aloof. Although Daniela 1 doesn't make a big deal out of it, she notes her husband's recent changes. Her suspicion grows when Jason 2 uses her toothbrush instead of his own and startles her during a run, but she keeps her concerns to herself. Jason 1 openly shares his life story with Daniela 2 and Ryan 2, detailing the versions of Daniela and Ryan he knows. This revelation unsettles Daniela 2 and Ryan 2, with the latter leaving in frustration. Daniela 2 allows Jason 1 to stay because she once had a romantic relationship with Jason 2, who vanished after giving her a speech about multiple possibilities. This prompted Daniela 2 to center her project around Jason 2. Grateful for the chance to reunite with her old lover, Daniela 2 thinks with her heart rather than her mind. Jason 2 rejects Ryan 1's job offer and scolds him for involving Daniela 1 in persuading him to move to San Francisco. Meanwhile, Jason 1 gives Daniela 2 a house tour to convince her of his memory's authenticity. However, when the topic of having a child arises, Daniela 2 reveals that Jason 2 left her when she was pregnant, leading her to abort the child and focus on her painting career. Jason 1 insists he couldn't have abandoned her like that, emphasizing his choice to build a life with his Daniela over spending hours in a cold lab. Daniela 2, believing the version of Jason she knew has gone insane, remains skeptical. Jason 1, however, persists with empathy, hoping to prove he isn't lying. As Jason 2 tinkers with his reality-traveling machine, Jason 1 finally grasps the situation. He explains that two realities are superimposed on each other. In his life, Jason 1 aimed to create a device allowing objects to travel between realities. The Prime Universe is where Jason 1 decided to have a child with Daniela 1 and live a modest but happy life. However, a part of him desired wealth, fame, and solitude, leading to the creation of the alternate universe where Jason 2 became a Pavia award-winning scientist and Daniela 2 became a renowned painter. Over time, Jason 2 grew to despise his life, prompting him to use his resources to turn the theory of inter-reality travel into a working device, possibly with significant help from Ryan 2, who provided the necessary compound for safe travel. At the end of Episode 2, Daniela 2 and Jason 1, both missing their respective soulmates, get intimate. Their moment is abruptly interrupted by a Velocity soldier who shoots Daniela 2 in the head, killing her. Jason 1 is arrested and taken away. The militaristic and fascist nature of Velocity, helmed by Jason 2, becomes evident. It remains to be seen if Jason 1 can fight back and return to his wife and son. Episode 3 opens with Jason 1 tied up in a lavish prison cell at Velocity. Leighton, seemingly apologetic about Daniela 2's death, still believes that Jason 1 is actually Jason 2 suffering from amnesia. Meanwhile, Jason 2 is enjoying life with Daniela 1, drinking wine and savoring good food. Jason 1, trapped in this opulent yet confining space, grapples with the disbelief of his situation. He tries to convince Leighton of his true identity, but Leighton's firm belief that Jason 1 is actually Jason 2 complicates matters. The confusion and frustration are palpable as Jason 1 attempts to navigate the convoluted scenario. Back in the alternate reality, Jason 2 is relishing the moments with Daniela 1. They share intimate conversations and laugh over glasses of wine. The chemistry between them undeniable. Jason 2's life seems perfect, a stark contrast to the turmoil Jason 1 faces. As Jason 1 plots his escape, he uncovers more about Velocity's hidden agendas and their experiments with the multiverse. His determination to return to his own reality fuels his every action. Meanwhile, Daniela 1 starts noticing subtle differences in Jason 2's behavior, raising her suspicions. Tension builds as Jason 1's desperation to break free intensifies. He allies with another captive, Amanda, who has her own reasons for wanting to escape Velocity's clutches. Together, they devise a daring plan, navigating the complex security measures to regain their freedom. The episode crescendos with a high-stakes escape attempt. Jason 1 and Amanda's meticulous planning is put to the test as they face unforeseen obstacles. The suspense is gripping, with every moment fraught with danger. Will they succeed in their audacious bid for freedom, or will Velocity's grasp prove too strong? Simultaneously, Jason 2's idyllic life begins to unravel as Daniela 1's suspicions grow. The cracks in their seemingly perfect world widen, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation. The episode ends on a cliffhanger, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting the next twist in the tale of dark matter. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.